Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good, and welcome to my 2025 Beginner's Guide to your shipments, your shops, the place where you buy stuff in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes. We're going to go through all of these. There's been some small changes in 2025. Well, episode shipments are not a small change, but we'll talk about all these shops here in this video for anybody that needs to hear it, and maybe some of you who don't, but let's get right into it. We're going to start right here in the featured shipment shop. Of course, every time you log into the game and this shop is fresh, you should buy these 4 items. I don't care what you're doing, just always buy these 4. If you don't need this gear, it doesn't matter. You will later apply it to relic material down the road, which we'll look at here in a moment when we get to the guild activity shop. So we'll talk about that more in a moment. Otherwise, in here, you're looking at crystal expenditures. If you're spending crystals, this is not a bad place to get 32 shards of Visas Mar for 1280 crystals, 16 shards of Carthanasi for... Actually, I wouldn't do any Cantina farming here, but you can get characters here for shards, and down below you can also get gear for crystals. Down here you can also get gear for crystals as well, which the weekly shipment follows up with like on another level of spending crystals for stuff, for character shards, for gear, for ships. If you're going to be spending crystals, this is the place you want to spend the crystals, but you generally aren't going to come directly here to do it. Generally, what you'll do if you're going to spend crystals on gear or character shards, you'll start off in the character, you'll go to the gear piece, you'll click on the gear piece, and then you'll look for that no locations found for a full furnace. But if I can find this furnace anywhere, there we go, I will find these pieces of furnace. I can buy them in the shops here. That's a better way to do that in the weekly shipment shops. If you're going to spend crystals on gear, do it through the character menu, not through the shipment menu. The other thing I do in the weekly shipments, if I've got enough credits, which at the beginning of the game you're not going to have enough credits, but I've got 91 million right now, which I don't know, they've been giving us a lot of credits, so I kind of wonder if something big is coming down the road. But these each cost 1 million credits for 10 shards. If you got the characters maxed out, your account is advanced, that's some shard shop currency I can add to my roster. I'll buy those for 1 million credits each for some shard shop currency. Here I keep an eye on these omegas. My account is a Lightspeed bundle account. I always need omegas. I generally buy this with my it's purchasable with like 850 Mark 1 currency, something like that. It's not open right now, so I can't see it, but yeah, I'll buy these omegas here. If you need omegas, this is a place to get them once a week. 5 omegas. Do not buy your Kyrotex here ever, 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 ever. Don't buy this Omicron. Don't buy Signal Data. This is a waste of money. You can get a lot more you can get a lot more for your what is this called? For your ally points by just opening bronziums. Ally points should be spent here. By opening these bronziums, you get a bunch of character shards, a bunch of gear that you need to not only gear up your characters, but also later on get your relic materials. So don't buy that stuff. I went to the wrong place. Do not buy anything with these bronziums up here. This light side and dark side currency, that's a pretty good deal here. And then, of course, like I mentioned, you're into the character shards and gear and ships and everything. Okay, the episode shop is the most recent addition to the shops. Episode shipment. I call them shops. Do you guys call them shops or shipments? Regardless, I call them shops, but they are shipments. Here, the most common thing you're going to buy is going to be Omicrons. These Omicrons, that's the best thing to purchase in here. Followed in second place by the 10 Kyrotex you can get of each of these Kyrotex, 10 of the squids, 10 of the laptops. I buy them here also. Of course, I'm also buying omegas here because that's where they're available. I wouldn't say that these purple, you can get these purple in lots of places. I never recommend buying purple ability mats. It's just kind of dumb. If you get gold mods that have speed secondaries, like 5 speed secondaries, I would buy them here. None of these are really worth buying. This might be worth it, okay, if you're looking for a specific tenacity mod. In fact, at 5 speed, I'm going to go ahead and buy that. That's okay. A purple mod like that. These would be okay purchases as well. I wouldn't buy character shards here. I always say shards are easy, gear is hard. Even if you need the shards, like I need Saw Gerrera shards right now, and I'm actively farming Saw Gerrera. I don't want to spend 2,500 on Saw Gerrera, although I'm starting to add up my currency here. But there's only 1 day left, so I'll be able to blow all that currency here in another day on all this. I guess if your currency is overflowing, you can get some character shards. The mod materials are a good deal here. Don't ever buy these. You have plenty of these Mark 1 capacitors, Mark 1 amplifiers. This is not a bad place to buy them for 2,500. In fact, I'll just go ahead and do it right now to show you that it is worth it to buy that. 5,000 for 25 pulse Mark II pulse modulators. That's iffy. I've got plenty of these right now. Basically, it's 20 of these for every 50 of these. So I've got more than enough to cover my my Mark I amplifiers, and it's a little more than that actually, because these do come into play later with higher gear levels, of course. But I'm just talking about taking a mod to 6 dots. You need 20 of these and 50 of each of these. This, I don't generally need those, so I'm okay there. I did buy these Mark II thermal exchange. This is actually the thing I'm the most light on all the time as far as mods go, so I do buy them here. Micro attenuators is not a horrible idea, but you get a lot of those anyway. Carbonite circuit boards, bronzium wiring, go to town. This is a great place to buy those. You never need chromium transistors. We'll get to that in a moment. I wouldn't do rhodium heat sinks here either. I wouldn't do electron conductors. That's just too expensive for too little. And all the gear is just overpriced. For 2 pieces of gear, that's just not really going to be impactful on your roster. 2 pieces of gear once a week, I'm just not doing that, and that's not worth it for me. Cantina Battles. In Cantina Battles, you're mostly going to be farming character shards. So you can see here I got 1 character I'm still working on, which is POW. The rest are all maxed out. So I'm going to go ahead and finish off my POW. Now I can get him to 7 stars. Congratulations to me. And now, once I get all my characters farmed, now you're just farming shard shop materials here. So you're going to get better shard shop returns out of ships than you will out of characters. We'll go take a look at this and see if we can... Let's go look at our shard shop real quick. Let's go look at well, we'll get there eventually. We'll get there eventually. You'll see, I promise. You get more shard shop currency out of 5 ship shards than 10 character shards. If you need shipbuilding materials, this is not the worst place to get them early in the game. Later on, you're probably going to have plenty of them, so not have to worry about it. Guild Activity Store. This is the busiest, most top to bottom. Lots of stuff in the store. In the store, shipments that you got in this game, shipment store, etc. So let's talk about this for a while. I don't ever buy these Mark III pulse modulators here. Again, we talked about previously. These low-level gear pieces, I'm not really engaging in these up here with this currency, with my guild tokens. Guild tokens are a little more scarce than your raid tokens. If I've got a truckload of guild tokens, I will engage in buying these Mark III Senior Holo projectors, because you do need these to get, if we look over here, you need those to make these. So you need a lot of these. So you need a lot of those. Okay, you need these to make those, is what I'm saying. You'll have to get familiar with that in the scavenger shop. We'll delve into that here in a moment. We'll delve deeply, like the dwarves. Cuffs, if you're short on cuffs or carbantes, it's not a horrible thing to spend them here. However, these 3 right here are generally going to be where you're going to focus in this shop. And right now when I'm low, I don't even want to buy these 3. There's 1 piece here, and for these 3 slots, we're going to switch over to the Jawa scavenger store, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about there. Here's the scavenger store. Carbonite circuit boards, bronzium wiring, and chromium transistors. These are the pieces that you can what do we call it here? Salvage. There we go. You could salvage to make carbonite circuit boards, bronzium wiring, and chromium transistors, and you need these for every relic level that you make in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. You'll notice these are all Mark I, Mark II, Mark III pieces for carbonite circuit boards. Mark V, Mark VI, and Mark IV pieces for bronzium wiring. Well, you know what a good place to buy Mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces. Oh, I skipped one. We'll come back to that in a second. We're gonna go back and forth here a little bit. Is right here. Mark 1, Mark 5, Mark 3. These will build those carbonite circuit boards and bronzium wirings for me. So I do buy them here. Right now I'm a little bit low, and when I'm a little bit low, there's only 1 piece that I'm really focused on, because that piece will show up here. And that is this piece, and it's the reason I've always got 800 to 1,000 or more of these chromium transistors. It is this piece right here. These Mark 7 Blast Tech weapon mods are cheaply purchased for, it's either 100 or 150 of that currency in this shop. So you always want to keep an eye out, and it'll usually be in, I think, this spot right here. It's one of these 2 spots. If you have those Mark 7 pieces, you want to buy them right here whenever they're available. Every time they're available, you'll never have to worry. You'll never, ever have to worry about chromium transistors in life, because I'll just show you here. If I've got 50 of these, I can afford it. I'm going to take 50 of these. I'm going to open this up. I'm going to take 50, put them over here. 50 gives me 166 chromium transistors. Bang, done. So every time those are available in the guild store, you buy them. That's really important. Really, really important. Okay, moving on. These character shards, I'm not really going to buy these with my guild tokens. That's not a good investment. You can get them down below for a lot cheaper. Starting with your Mark III raid currency, Mark III raid tokens. This is a bad place to get a Zeta. Generally speaking, I am buying Electrum conductors up through Gerda keypads. I'm going to buy anything from here on up in this shop with my Mark III currency. In fact, I'll do some of it right now. I've got some relic levels I'm working on. I get a relic 8, but so you need all of these pieces for relic 6, 7, 8, and 9. These are, so it's relic 6, relic 7, relic 7, relic 8, relic 9. And I might have even missed something there. This might be for relic 7 as well. I can't remember. But so I'm buying all of these pieces. I already got 40 here. Let's go buy some Zen Biddles. We'll get some Zen Biddles. We'll get some impulse detectors. This is what I do with my currency here is I buy the pieces from the electric conductor straight up the path. That's where I get these, and that's where I spend my Mark III currency. Mark II currency, I would not recommend spending here on these. I did a little misnomer there. Rhodium heat sinks are only available with your Mark II currency. This is not a good place to buy them. You're better off scavenging them in the shop. Here is the place where you're going to start spending your Mark II currency on stuff like Mark VI at the camp. You can't get enough of these. See, I've got all sorts of Gear 12 characters that need these. Mark 8 Nubian security scanners. You can't get enough of these. I've got all sorts of Gear 12 characters that need these. You can get enough of these, but I can use them right. I'm actually going to leave that for later when I need it. These cuffs, these are part of the completion for furnaces. So now again, when you're farming these, I'm going to recommend again, you do it from the character menus. So let's go ahead and look at Iden Versio right now. So Iden Versio does need a furnace. I know I've got it complete, but I'm using this as an example. And by the way, you can never have enough furnaces. So many characters need furnaces in this game, you can never have enough. I need cuffs as a completion for my furnaces. So let's go in here and look, there's that Mark II currency. So I like to finish that in the currency shop right here by buying the cuffs right there. And we return to the guild activity shipment store with a new outfit on, as you would also do if you started a video yesterday. Things come up, you finish it today. We're getting through the holiday season here with family in town. We love our family. We got to spend time with them sometimes. So we're back. We're in the guild activity store after showing you how to buy all this gear with your Mark II currency. Coming up next here are characters in the guild activity store. These are kind of important. You know, when you look at Hermit Yoda and Wampa, Rebel Officer Leia Organa, Probe Droid, General Skywalker, these first four are available in Lightspeed bundles that come out. The Hoth bundle, the Luke's Friends bundle, and yeah, just those two actually. But if you're not going to farm the bundles, this is the best place to farm these characters. They're also available later in the where is it here? In the guild event store. We'll talk about that in a moment. But this is the best place to buy these characters. And once you activate General Skywalker and Darth Malak, you need to come here to finish them off because you can only get them to 5 stars from their event. And a note for all of you guys, if you are currently doing the General Skywalker or Darth Malak event and you need to get them to 7 stars as soon as possible, save up a bunch of this Mark II currency from your raids and a bunch of Guild Event 1 currency. You can see Darth Malak there as well with the Guild Event 1 currency so that you can get them to 7 stars as fast as possible. Now below those guys, I'm going to go all the way back down. This is the most annoying menu out of all of them. I'm gonna get it out there. Most annoying menu. This is a good place to buy credits. I don't need any right now. I have 103 million, mostly thanks to the recurrence every month and twice this month of the what's the Master Obi-Wan and Padawan Qui-Gon, what's that called? The Duel of the Fates. Duel of the Fates Assault Battle has given me a bunch of credits here, but if you're short on credits, not a bad idea to spend this Mark I raid token currency on credits. Here's a bunch of gear as well. You'll get a good hit and miss on whether this is a good relic or good mod piece for you every day. There's a bunch of gear here, which is not bad to spend on, but you should first, before you start spending on gear in this shop, by the way, these are what's some of the most important here. These Mark III, I already showed you that these go to make, did I show you that? Yeah, these go to make the, all right, let's go show you again. I don't know if you got it again. A lot of that shop goes here over to here. I don't think I did. The eroding heat sinks are put together with these pieces right here, which are crafted from these pieces that I just bought. You craft them, you then bring them over here, you get 5 eroding heat sinks. So, and not just that, you're also going to get a lot of gear for characters by farming those in all the shops where you can get them. They're up here too, look. So this is Mark III Senior Hold Projector Salvage right there as well. I mentioned if you got a bunch of extra of this, you can buy the gear up here. I'm not doing it right now because I don't have a bunch of extra of that. But yes, this is a good place with your Mark I currency to buy gear. I especially look at these Mark III Senior Hold Projectors. I'll look at stun guns here sometimes. Carbantes are good to buy here, but a lot of this Mark IV gear, like these Mark IV comlinks, a lot of characters need these when they get up to like gear 11, gear 12, so this is a good place to get those. There's a lot of good gear in here to get, but you should be farming the characters you need first. Get the shards knocked out here, and then you can farm the gear. So Han Solo, General Kenobi, Darth Traya, these used to be activated, and still some of you guys in some of your guilds are still doing some of the Rancor raid, the HAAT raid, the Heroic Sith raid to get shards to these characters. You can also get the shards here if you're not doing those raids. This is the best place to buy those shards for Han, General Kenobi, and Darth Traya, and the only place outside of those early raids to get those shards. Colonel Stark is only available in the shop. He's a great Imperial Trooper to add to your roster. There's some easy farming here, and like some bounty hunter farming for Executor, like Dengar. You've got a character like Rey Scavenger that you need for Jedi Training Rey and also for Galactic Legend Rey. Snowtrooper fits into an Imperial Trooper team, whether it's under Iden or Veers. There's 3 or 2 Ewoks in here. I feel like there's 3 Ewoks in here. I guess it's only 2. So Paploo and Ewok Elder in here. You've also got Echo. You got Rex. I would encourage you to look through here, find your farm, and find characters that are easy to farm in here. This is a great place to get character shards. And speaking of character shards, let's move on to the Squad Arena shop. That is the primary purpose of this shop, is to get character shards. You can see that I'm almost completely sharded in here. I've even got Ugnaught to max out. And because I want to finish all my characters to 7 stars, I'm getting Coruscant Underworld Police to 7 stars. So I'm going to finish up this farm, going to save that. Once I get all these characters to 7 stars in this shop, a couple other things you can farm in here. And actually, before you even do that, this is a good place to get prestige. This is for your capital ships to upgrade their abilities, really max out those capital ships. If you're short on prestige, it's not a bad place to buy prestige in here. I wouldn't buy credits anymore. Back in the day, you kind of considered it. That's in the guild activity store with the Mark I currency we just showed you, but prestige is a good thing to get here. If all your character shards are full, you can get more character shards to fill your shard arena currency or shard shop currency, or you can come in here and get some of this gear we showed you before, the Mark III, the Mark IV, the Mark III, the Mark VI. This all goes toward relic gear for your roster. I'm going to go ahead and grab some of these. They're pretty cheap here. I usually stick to these first 3 if I'm going to be looking at them, because over here it gets up to 390, and I'm good. I don't need to spend that much on it. Let's move on. More character shards here in the Galactic War store. Squad Arena and Galactic War, the primary function is character shards and ship shards in the Galactic War store for these 2 shops. Once you get those done, then you're looking at using these to get extra currency or shard shop currency by grabbing extra shards of these characters. You can see again, I'm almost fully maxed out. I'm going to finish up Bodhi Rook for my pal Dank Ideals, who loves Bodhi Rook, but that's just for me. I'm getting all my characters to 7 stars, as I just mentioned. But you've got important characters in here like Cad Bane for your Executor farmer, just an early bounty hunter team. Hera Syndulla, Zeb for your Phoenix team, mainly Hera there. Mando and Grief Karga are 2 of the most important characters in this shop, and 2 of the first ones you should farm. Mando and Grief Karga will give you some scoundrels you can use in Credit Heist, along with bounty hunters that you use for Chewbacca, Executor. Well, you don't use them for Executor, but Chewbacca. Well, just Chewbacca, I guess. So, Credit Heist, Chewbacca, and then some other stuff in the game as well. They're just really useful and really good characters that people use all the way through the game. But other characters in here as well they're going to use for your team, including all the admirals, Admiral Akbar, Grand Moff Tarkin, and where is Mace Windu's in here too, right? I think he is. Am I scrolling over Mace Windu? I can't do a Control F in this screen, so I guess Mace Windu's not in here. He's in one of the other shops. Maybe is he here? I don't know. Mace Windu's in one. Oh, look, Tarkin's here too. Mace Windu's in one of these. I don't know. Maybe he's not. But also you get ships here. You're going to get your Geo Soldier Starfighter, occasionally your Geo Spy Starfighter, occasionally your Sunfac Starfighter. You're going to get Biggs in here. You'll get the Imperial TIE Bomber, the TIE Advanced, and TIE Fighter in here. You'll get Ahsoka Tano Starfighter. You'll get Plo Koon sometimes. You'll get Fives, the Umbaran Starfighter sometimes. And you'll also get Anakin's Eta-2 Starfighters sometimes in this shop. This is a great place to get ship shards, and again we'll emphasize these 4 ship shards are going to be more valuable than 10 character shards. We'll get to the shard shop in a moment and show that to you. Moving on to the mod store, I'm going to tell you the truth. I don't do a lot of shopping in the mod store. I know we have creators who really encourage you to spend every now and then if you see a good mod. I do agree with that, and at 100 million credits, I can probably afford to do it right now. However, I'm kind of waiting. I feel like they've been giving us all these credits for a reason, and that reason will be revealed in 2025. Maybe not. Maybe we're just getting a bunch of credits for whatever. I don't know. And if I continue to build these up, I don't really have a problem with spending credits when you've got far more than enough credits in here to get some mods. I would really only get these gold mods with speed secondaries or a speed arrow in there. I wouldn't bother with any of these other mods. If you're going to pay for a mod, get it at the top tier. A 5 or 4 speed mod, and really only 5 for the most part, but a gold 5-speed secondary mod, maybe 4-speed secondary mod, or maybe it's a mod that you really need, like you really need a potency mod with protection primary and it's got a speed secondary. I might buy at its 4 or 3. If I really need that mod, I might grab it. Examples would be Tenacity with Health is a pretty good one. But if you really need a mod to fill out a set or make something on your team, a health mod, a potency mod, something like that, tenacity, this would be a good place to buy it if you see it pop up with a good speed secondary and you have a bunch of extra credits. I don't buy that much stuff in the mod shop. Fleet Arena. There's a lot of important stuff going on in Fleet Arena. The number one thing for you once you reach level 80 is Zeta Mats. Every time you get 2,000 credits near, you should be buying Zeta Mats in the Fleet Arena store. Now, with that said, there are other things going on in here, like your Geo ships. If you're farming, your Geo ships are in here. Plo Koon Starfighter is readily available here. There are other ships you can farm in here, and I wouldn't, I don't know a good phrase for that. I wouldn't befront you none. I think that's what my brother-in-law says. I wouldn't befront you for coming in here and spending some fleet currency, Fleet Arena shipment currency on some of those ships. Imperial TIE Fighter is a Cantina farm. Don't do that here. Ahsoka Tano, easily available other places. So be careful what you're farming here. Make sure Biggs is available in other places too. Even the Geo. Sunfac is not readily available in other places. I would get Sunfac, but Geo Spy shows up in the Galactic War store a lot. You're going to find one thing that's really important. The Razor Crest will show up in here 2 or 3 times a week. Every time the Razor Crest shows up in here, you should be buying it. You should be buying the Razor Crest because that is a ship you need to finish off the Executor farm, and you're only going to get it in Proving Grounds besides, or paying crystals for it, besides getting it here. If you don't want to pay crystals for the Razor Crest, look for it to show up here and grab it with Fleet Arena currency. And 2 characters will show up down here from time to time as well, and the same is true for them, General Grievous and Darth Vader. Now, Darth Vader you may or may not need. The achievements get you a 7-star Darth Vader pretty quickly if you're invested in it and really paying attention to it. Although some of the achievements for Darth Vader are now like old achievements, like winning a bunch of battles in Squad Arena. That's 2-3 years old now. We don't really worry about Squad Arena anymore. There's no crystals in there anymore. But if you need Darth Vader shards and General Grievous, this is the only place to shop for General Grievous. When you need those shards, this is the place to get them, and you should always keep on hand 1,600 of this Fleet Arena shop currency as much as possible while you're still farming the Razor Crest and any ships like Sunfac Starfighter and Grievous and or Darth Vader in here. You should always keep those. I don't think any other characters should be farmed in here other than General Grievous, 100% General Grievous, Darth Vader maybe if you need him, 100% Razor Crest, maybe some ships, and Zeta Mats all the time, and I'm burping as we're doing this. So that's what you do in the Fleet Arena store. The Guild Activity store. I'm going to go down a little bit first. Now, we already saw the Probe Droid, General Skywalker, Darth Malak, Hermione, and Wampa in the Guild Activity store. Right there. They're there. This is a new ad about 1.5 years ago. These characters did not used to be here. This shop did not exist a year and a half ago. So for 7.5 years, the only way that you could finish your Darth Malak or General Skywalker farm, because I mentioned you can only get them to 5 stars in the event, the only way to finish those farms was to come here to this shop and save up your Get One currency for months until you had enough to unlock. And I think you needed like 70 or 80,000 currency to unlock Darth Malak and General Skywalker for those last 2 stars. So again, I'll advise, if you're going after Darth Malak or General Skywalker, save up your Mark II currency here to get their shards here, and save up your Get One currency here to get those characters to the end. I generally wouldn't recommend any more spending the Get One currency on Wampa and Hermit Yoda or Pro Droid here. Pro Droid, you can see I don't really farm Pro Droid anyway. Someday they'll need him for a farm. I was kind of shocked he wasn't in the Leia Organa farm, but whatever. I don't think you should. I think those should just be farmed in the guild activity store now. Now let's go back up to the top. Up here, you'll see these 2 spots with your Mark III currency for Commander Ahsoka, Ki-Adi-Mundi. Wat Tambor will be in here also. You can do this, but it's going to take you forever. This is going to take you forever to do these. So I highly recommend, instead of doing Wat Tambor, Ki-Adi-Mundi, Commander Ahsoka up here, Commander Ahsoka's Improving Grounds, you'll be okay, or you can buy her with crystals over in the weekly shipment store. I don't know if she's there right now. I don't see her at the moment, but she does show up in there, and she does show up in featured shipments sometimes, Commander Ahsoka. She used to anyway. Maybe she doesn't anymore, but this is not a great way to farm these characters. I mean, if you look at me, this is how much I got from my last Rise Empire territory battle, which just ended yesterday. So with this, I can do this 3 times. So 15 shards, maybe 30 shards a month. It's going to take me a year and a half to unlock any of these characters, and I'm doing pretty well. You're probably, if you're a beginner and watch this, you're not doing nearly as well with the Get 3 currency. You might not be getting any of it. This is not a great place to farm these characters. Instead, I would defer in that case to maybe Lightspeed bundles. Wat Tambor and Ki-Adi-Mundi have Lightspeed bundles available to unlock them at Relic 5 immediately. It's a good way to get around doing the Dark Side Geonosis territory battles. Where was I? Here was it. No, where was I? It's a good way to get around doing Dark Side Geonosis territory battles for those Wat Tambor shards, or the Light Side Geonosis territory battles for Ki-Adi-Mundi shards. You'll learn more about that as you get in the game. This is not a great way to farm characters. So what do I do with my Mark III currency? I generally just grab Kyrotex. This is not a bad deal at all for Kyrotex. Micro Attenuator's fine, that's okay. I don't get super excited about those. Electron Conductors, that's not real good. That's not real good. So Mark III currency, I think the best expenditure for that is Kyrotex in here. Your Mark II Guild event tokens, and again, all these tokens you get all these from territory battles. Okay, you get these Mark 1 from Hoth. Mark 2 comes into play mostly during Geo territory battles, and Mark 3 comes into play mostly from Rise of the Empire. You do get the Mark 3 and Mark 2 at lower levels, just not very much of it. You need to finish farming Negotiator and Malevolence in here with your Mark II currency before you even think about doing anything else with that Mark II Get 2 currency here. Finish Negotiator, finish Malevolence, and when you're done with that, just farm Kyrotex. That's it. Just farm Kyrotex. Now, if you're an endgamer, you don't need Kyrotex anymore. You could do some gear here, I guess. I farm nothing other than Malevolence, Negotiator, Kyrotex, and Kyrotex with my Mark III and Mark II Get 2 and Get 3 currency in this shop. The Get 1 currency, I'm staying right in this little range right here. These Mark 6 Athacam Med, and this mainly right here in these two. These are pieces, Mark 6 Athacam Med Pack salvage. Let's see where this goes. I'm going to show you where this goes. You'll find this piece right here. If you look at your right side, Gear 12 finishers, it's going to be right here over on the right. There it is. It finishes off a lot of these gear. There's a Mark 7 Hypo Syringe. That's another really common one. But it's also over here. There's more Mark 7 Hypo Syringes, more Mark 7 Hypo Syringes, and Mark 7 Nupian. These pieces are in 5 of the 6 Gear 12 finishers. And they're sitting, and if you look at other, well, we're not going to look at other characters. So that's why mostly I'm going to invest in these pieces, and you'll get to know them. The other one is the Mark 8 Nubian box thing. That's the only other one. Those are the primary pieces I buy here. I'll also buy these pieces. Well, you saw these on the left side, or you see these on the left side as the primary pieces. But right here, for me, is the main place to get these. I'm going to go ahead and grab these two since I need them. This is the spot to do most of your farming in here. Here's more pieces for Gear 12 finishers for these guys. Let's go take a look at 5s right here. Where is that piece? Not there. There's more of those Mark 12. Is it here? Where is that piece? There it is. Yeah, more of those types of pieces right here. So, and by the way, when you look at these pieces as well, and these left side pieces, they're really great, again, in the Jawa scavenger shop. These left side pieces will complete. So if you were to craft one of these, by the way, so if I'm going to craft it, I have to have all these, I have to have a full piece here ready to go. When I craft it, I'm going to go ahead and craft it. I'm going to go ahead and craft it. Let's craft that. And then when I do that, I add it, I get 13 of these electrum conductors. So it goes for a character like Tech. He needs this piece on him, they're over there. But if I need some electrum conductors, this is a great place. You want to fully craft the item here. And that's where you get the gear that I was showing you to get electrum conductors. So that's where are we? I'm all over the place this morning. I've been under the weather since the boys were here. I've just got sinus thing going on. It's kind of lingering on me, but this is where you want to live with that get one currency now right here, other than getting Malik or General Skywalker shards. I'll stick to that. Yeah, I wouldn't do any character farming in here. I wouldn't farm any of these purple gear pieces. Actually, I need some of these, don't I? And then, yeah, you can see I need them for 4 different characters, so let's grab those. And then ship farming, maybe, I think this is maybe the only place you can find Biston's U-Wing, so you may have to grab that here. These other ships, sometimes maybe Sunfac pops up in here, you grab them, but that's the only other thing you do here from time to time. Grand Arena. Okay, here's the Grand Arena shop. This is simple. This is as simple as it gets. As simple as it gets. You only buy Chirotechs here. You only buy Chirotechs. Nothing else gets purchased in this shop. Maybe if you had thousands of Chirotechs, you didn't need them anymore, you could buy some other gear. Whatever. Let me know when that happens. You only buy Chirotechs in this shop. You'll get this currency from playing Grand Arena, and you buy Chirotechs. Period. That's it. Next. Shard shop. Okay. I can't really show you. Let's do it. Let's back out a little bit. I want to show. So you get a bunch of. You can see here. These are characters that I have at 7 stars. When I get extra shards of them, it gives me shard shop currency. Let's show you real quick. I'm gonna go back into the Galactic War store. I'm gonna get TIE Bomber shards. Okay. Let's go back to the shard shop. That gives me 152 shard shop currency for getting 4 ship shards. Okay. Boom, done. Let's go back to the Galactic War store. Let's grab some Zeb. Got Zeb now. That gives me 150 for 10 shards of Zeb. So the ship shards are more valuable. It's incremental, I get it. But sometimes, like in the Cantina Battles shop, you get 5 shards of Cassian's U-Wing. That's going to be a little bit more than incremental there. So keep that in mind when you're looking at the shard shop and getting extra currency there. Now, a recent change to the shard shop is these Darth Vader shards. If anybody ever buys Darth Vader shards near, you should disown them, move them out of your life, get them out of your house. Do not allow them around your children. You should never buy Darth Vader shards. That's crazy, ridiculous. Grievous shards, this used to be the only place we could get Grievous. I told you a moment ago, he shows up in Fleet Arena from time to time. Only farm him in the Fleet Arena shop. This is way too expensive. Don't farm him here. All right. Light side currency, dark side currency. If you are trying to unlock a Galactic Legend day 1 and get their ultimate done day 1, the shard shop is going to be the best place to hoard shard shop currency and then get this currency, because you need this currency to unlock GLs and to get their ultimate done. So if you want to do it day 1, or at any point actually, if you want to get it done really quickly, this is not a bad place to spend your shard shop currency. So that'll get you a Galactic Legend quickly. I'll put this in there. Right now I'm farming Sith Eternal Emperor. I'm not cashing in on this because I don't have all of his Zetas. I'm not ready to go on Sith Eternal Emperor. If you don't have all the gear saved up, you don't have all their Zetas, it's really not worth investing 5,000 shard shop currency here for, unless you're ready to go with getting them completely done. Unlocking a Galactic Legend and not getting all their Zetas and not getting them up to relic levels is not even worth shard shop. So just chill out a little bit. Sometimes the slow road to the GL is a little bit better for your roster. Radius shards, finalizer shards, and endurance shards. I'm not sure. Well, I'll tell you what. Shard shop currency here is cheaper than saving crystals to do it. I mean, you can get 30 shards of finalizer for 21k. That's not the worst thing I've ever seen in the world if you're trying to get your finalizer. I mean, you can grab this early on instead of doing the finalizer event. Is this available? If you don't have Kylo, I think this is available to everybody. Let me go look at my beginner account. Okay, we're on my my beginner min-max account that I started just so I could just do some min-maxing, and it's there, yeah. So this, quite honestly, I hadn't really thought about this. This is kind of a revelation for me. I don't know why I hadn't thought of it, but so if you're gonna go for Galactic Legend Rey or Galactic Legend Kylo, and you need the finalizer Erratus to do that at 5 stars. This would be a tremendous way for you to avoid having to invest in a bunch of ships if you don't want to invest in those ships. Now, the thing is, like, there's a finalizer bundle that gives you half of the requirements for the Executor out there, which is kind of nice. There are Radis bundles that give you characters, but I think you can get those characters in other bundles for resistance as well. So, hey, if you want to get these ships without having to farm a bunch of ships to go along with them, because right now, these 2 ships are not very productive in the game. Finalizer for a long time was an Executor counter for years, but that's been destroyed with the recent release of Punishing One, and maybe we'll get another First Order ship that'll elevate it again. I don't know, or maybe we'll get another, you know, we got the Comeuppance, which kind of elevated the Radis a little bit, but it's not great. So this is a great way to farm these ships to get toward Kylo and Rey if you're doing it free to play, or you don't want to go buy bundles for them. And now that the shard shop is finished, let's... Oh, did we finish? We didn't finish the shard shop. Sorry about that. So we talked about the ships. I got kind of involved with that. Man, I almost glossed over it. Most of my shard shop currency, is spent right here. I just showed you these pieces and where they belong. It's the exact same thing. It's these finishing pieces over here. These right here. You see where they belong, and they're on every character. Most of my shard shop currency is spent on these 2 spots, getting these finishing pieces, because you just can't get enough of them. They're on 5 of the 6 Gear 12 finishers in Galaxy of Heroes. If I'm short on some of these are on the left side main pieces. I'll grab these, but 296, I'm doing okay there. I spend less on these 720s because they tend... It's twice the price for the same amount of pieces, same pieces of gear. Yeah, I realize they're different pieces of gear, but if I spend these 720s, I tend to go through my shard shop currency really, really fast. So I just live right here. I literally live right here. I don't recommend any of these purchases down here. Man, those would be nice to have probably, but I'm sure I can construct those with something else because those characters aren't needing that gear. Yes. Let's see. I don't know where it is. Anyway, you shouldn't buy gear. Don't buy this lower level gear, purple gear, blue gear with your shard shop currency. You can get that stuff elsewhere, but right here, live here. Live here if you're not looking at Finalizer, Radis, or this light and dark side currency. I wouldn't do Endurance Executrix Home 1 unless you just really are desperate for that 7-star capital ship to, you know, finish off so you can go get Chimera or Finalizer or whatever. And I wouldn't buy TIE Advanced here. That's, you know, no thanks. You can get it lots of other places, including Galactic War Shop, and there's even a Fleet Arena node for it. Conquest. Now, this shop, there's a lot of crystals being spent for Conquest stuff, which, quite bluntly, you can get that stuff by just, if you want to make a good investment, just buy the Conquest pass. Conquest is going on right now. You can just buy... Do I have to, where do I go to get it? Whoa, here, the pass. You want to get that good stuff? Just go in here by the... I'm fading. The Conquest Pass Plus. You'll get a bunch of it here, and then you get a bunch of it extra in the reward tracks up here. I wouldn't ever... I don't think anybody should ever spend crystals in the Conquest store to get the Conquest. I mean, does anybody do that? I don't think that's a good idea at all. I would never spend crystals here. I think I never have, never will. Nobody should do it. If you are a new player and you're spending Conquest currency on gear, that's fine if you do it in the Conquest Jawa scavenger shop. You should never, ever, ever buy this gear. This gear is available in a lot of other places, and I mean, I can't believe they sell it here. It seems like a kind of a shyster move. This is not cool. This gear is easily available, like in your daily challenges. This is easy gear to get. Don't buy this here. This is a good place if you're short on shards for some of these characters to get those shards with the Conquest currency right here. I wouldn't buy. Well, you could spend crystals. Yeah, 600 crystals for 5. I would never do that. You can do it if you want. I would never do that. Let me show you what I mean by the scavenger shop and Conquest. So if I go in here to level 2, and I know this is on hard Conquest, but it'll be there for you in easy. Once you get to level 2 and easy, you'll get a lot of the similar stuff. This is finisher gear. Let me go back to tier 1 here. Hold on. I may not be able to show you this in hard, but I'll tell you what it is. Okay, there it is. If you're a beginner to the game, you don't need to be farming like, well, you might want to farm Queen Amidala. Actually, you may want to farm Queen Amidala if you're farming Master Qui-Gon and Padawan Obi-Wan. But if you aren't farming characters with it, come here and grab some gear with this currency. This is a good place to spend this gear, or on this gear right here. This gear is worth buying as a new player, or if you got everything unlocked, you don't need to grab any more characters anymore, you can do it here too. Don't spend it in the Conquest shop. So basically, it's a very limited shop. When you look at the Conquest shop, the only place I believe you should spend anything in here is on character shards in this bottom left one. I feel like there's another character shard one here sometimes, but character shards if you need the character. Otherwise, don't spend anything in here. Datacrons, I don't use this shop very much at all. It spends shard shop currency. It spends way too much. I said this before. The only place you should spend ally points is unlocking bronziums. Only place. The only place. This is way too expensive for bronziums. It's not all that expensive for shard shop currency if you've got a bunch. And then crystals, you could do that too. I tend to do all of my Datacron farming again in Conquest, and whenever I can get in Conquest, I'm just happy with that. I live with that. There may be a point where I get to the end game, and I need to get more Datacrons because I'm trying to climb in Kyber 1, and I think we will get there one day. But right now, I'm just getting all this. All of my Datacron stuff is, well, 95% of it is from Conquest. I don't really spend anything in that Conquest shop either, so just something to keep in mind. There's the Conquest, Datacron shop, sorry. And then finally, the Legend Token shop. This is a luxury. If you have a Galactic Legend, you can go play, and this is open right now too. I have good timing on my video here. So the Ultimate Journey events, these open up at the end of Proving Grounds. Right now, they're running a special run of it for the holidays. If you have Galactic Legends, you can come in here. You're only earning 300 for each tier of it. Honestly, this shop is about as inconsequential as a shop can get. Maybe the mod shop is one. If you're going to buy stuff in here, you're probably going to get Omicrons. Kyrotex is not a bad investment here for the return on it. I don't think character shards are a great way to go. Although if you've got it and you need Darth Malgus, this wouldn't kill you, but I mean, you're not even getting 3,000 of these per round if you have all 8 Galactic Legends. You're only getting 2,400, so it's just really expensive. The biggest thing you're going to buy in here, you could buy some gear too. The biggest thing is these Omicron mats. You could do the gear too, but Omicron mats is really the way to go in this shop if you've got Galactic Legends. And there you go. There you go. If you don't have Galactic Legends, you have none of this currency, by the way. It's truly a luxury shop. That is all the shipments in Star Wars Galaxy Heroes for you beginners out there. Maybe even some of you more experienced or seasoned veterans learned something too. Hopefully I helped you out with your roster. Oh wait, we reset this one here. Look at that. I told you to buy these, so I'm going to buy them now. We reset that, and I grab them all, and I'm a happy camper. Happy boy today in the episode Shipment Shop, the newest shop of all the shops. Everybody, have a great day. I'll talk to you soon. And of course, as you go throughout your days and your life, and you have travails and traverses, and you have victories and defeats, and you have families and you love your families, I hope you always keep in mind. Dang it! Dang it! God dang it, I had it all loaded up. Nooch too good.